On this week's episode of the Program Guys podcast, we recap a wild first couple of days of NFL free agency, the big names heading new places, and we address the Deshaun Watson trade rumors. March Madness is upon us as we make our final four picks and our upsets in round one. An amazing story on how Patrick got Matt a date all the way from California, plus our MVPs of the week. All right, let's get started.
3, 2, 1.
There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Ooh, what's up and welcome into episode number 10 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince. I'm joined, as always, by Ryan Tyson, Mark Hall, Matt Gann, and Patrick Hertzberger. Patrick, you're hella dark right now, just a heads up. By the way, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Program Guys with a Z. Follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z. Be sure to subscribe, like our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking about the show, what you like, what you don't like. Comment on our YouTube videos as well. Guys, how we doing?
Doing good, Mace. How are you?
Did you mean dark as in like my camera's dark or really tan?
Yeah,
No, you're definitely not
you're
tan
dark.
anymore.
That California sun is
Both.
treating you well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Need a
California
light.
sun.
Yeah, you need to lie. I mean, it's crazy. It's in the afternoon out there in California, and it's like you're the darkest one. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do want to say also I took some advice from the very own Mr. Eddie Prince, who commented on our video last week. Told me I should never wear a hat anymore. The shade took away my beautiful eyes. So
I will say your hair looks good.
It really
Looks
does
great.
look great.
Yeah,
It
great
does
hair.
look good,
Hey,
man.
stop it. Unless Eddie says so, then I'll believe it. Yeah, man.
All right, guys. A lot of stuff to get through. We're gonna go rapid speed, I feel like, in this episode, and we'll get to why in a little bit. But let's go ahead and start. Tom Brady, he's back, and is anyone surprised? I don't know
Only
if I am.
that was this week, man. That feels like it was a month ago.
I know.
40
Yeah.
days of retirement.
Yeah, it was not a long time. Look, I'm not shocked. I thought, especially like he still has stuff in the tank. Like you saw him play last year, and he still got it. Like he still has zip on the ball and everything. It just didn't make sense the retirement announcement at the time that it did, or the time that he made it. And he's going back to the Bucks. So yeah, Patrick, I know you wanted to say something about this.
Yeah, we do have it on record that me and you, Mason, said that he was not done. It's like episode 4, 19 minutes in, approximately.
That's right. Patrick is the
Go back and
Program Guys
listen, people.
historian, Program Guys podcast historian, Patrick Hertzberger. Yeah, credit to Patrick. You know, sometimes you just fling things at the wall and they stick.
Yep.
And that was
It's
it.
crazy.
And
how
this
he
was a
does that.
50-50 chance, right? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he stays retired or he doesn't.
Yeah.
Good fling at the wall.
Thank you.
Mark, how you feeling NFC South wise?
Oh, I mean, Tom Brady coming back to Tampa Bay is not the thing that has me stressed out in the NFC South. I figure if he's back, then everything that I said about the Falcons being possible contenders for the division is probably gone, right?
Yeah.
Unless he has the, fall from grace that we've all been waiting for the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pick anyone except for the Buccaneers, barring a certain superstar quarterback being traded into the division.
I
We'll get to that
agree.
later.
Yeah. Well,
And I guess we get to that later or not at all, however we want to approach that. But
we'll figure it out. NFL free agency is in full force right now, and guys are trading teams. Trading is the wrong word. Are swapping teams left and right. Mark just told us right before we started recording that Von Miller is going to the Buffalo Bills on a 6-year deal.
Nice.
Mark, is that correct?
120.
120.
Wow. Wild.
So yeah, for a free
the
agency, Julio Jones was released by the Tennessee Titans today. That
Falcons won the trade.
as today. I mean Wednesday. We're recording this Wednesday evening, so he was released on Wednesday. And guys, I think we'll mention the Vikings. Vikings signed Kirk Cousins to a 1-year, $35 million deal. Everybody, congratulations to Ryan, Captain Kirk, the franchise.
Yeah. So I wrote in the timeline for all the listeners. I just said, "Bury me in my depression," because that's basically how I'm feeling at the moment. But I think I texted you guys, like, realistically, we couldn't have done any better. And he's like the type of quarterback that's just good enough to like hang around and like make a lot of money. And then he's not good enough to get us to a Super Bowl. Yeah. So we're not going to win the NFC North anyway. Let's try to get a wild card.
Also, Chandler Jones signs with the Las Vegas Raiders. That was another big one.
Who then immediately trade Yannick Ngakoue to the Colts.
Yeah.
Speaking of moving.
Yeah. Speaking of the Colts, before we move on, anybody have any other NFL free agency guys that you saw? Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I was just going to say just one quick thing about Tom Brady. I was really surprised because he had one of the best years of his career last year. He threw over 5,300 yards and 43 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
He honestly should have won MVP. Listen, I'm a big Green Bay guy. Love Aaron Rodgers, but it wasn't even close. And I got to give some credit where credit is due. So I was honestly surprised that he would retire after a year such as that. But there have been a lot of quarterback carousel moves. I mean, Russell Wilson to Denver. Now we got this big free agency looming over Deshaun Watson, which I know we'll get to as well. It's crazy. I mean, some teams are going to be some instant contenders, especially with Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and then wherever Watson ends up. And a lot of big names moving, like the Zadarius Smith from the Green Bay Packers went back home to the Ravens today on a big deal. So a lot of big moves. Khalil Mack to the Chargers. Wow, it's been a crazy free agency so far.
Forgot Miles Jack, 2-year deal going to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Join Mitchell Trubisky, the presumed starting quarterback in Pittsburgh moving forward.
How about that? Anything else on the free agency front that we want to talk about? And that next thing we're going to talk about is some trade news.
One quick one. Yeah. The Buccaneers signing Russell Gage is going to go under the radar. But that guy is going to be a rock star for Tom Brady. He is always where he needs to be anytime you need him to be there. And he's basically a receiver version of whatever Gronk has been for him, where he's just going to be in the right place. And past few years, he's had Matt Ryan throwing to him behind a bad offensive line. And now he gets the GOAT with a very good offensive line. So good signing.
Also, Rams offensive tackle Andrew Whitworth retired, 40 years old, goes out on top with the Super Bowl win. Congrats to Andrew Whitworth. Walter Payton Man of the Year, reigning Walter Payton Man of the Year. So good for him. I said, speaking of the Colts earlier, that's because Baker Mayfield, by this time next week, could be a Colt, could be not a Cleveland Brown. Trade news galore. The Browns interested in Deshaun Watson, as are a lot of teams, including Mark's Falcons, including the New Orleans Saints, including the Panthers. Anyone else I'm missing?
Pretty much that's it.
Not the Dolphins. Suck it. I don't like Deshaun Watson, but that's okay. Pressure is on in Cleveland, with Cleveland rumored to have met with Deshaun Watson and offered a trade package. Baker Mayfield finding that out and posting on social media. He's not a big fan of that.
Finding out on social media.
Yeah.
They did not tell him. He found out on social media.
Damn,
finding out on social media. He posted basically not saying goodbye, but saying goodbye to Cleveland. If it was his last ride, it was kind of an awkward thing.
I didn't like it.
I liked it.
Look, I'll defend Baker Mayfield.
The dichotomy
always, but I thought that was kind of awkward. The way that he handled that situation. Baker's a very reactionary guy.
He's emotional.
He's not a very much think things out and speak on it later. He's a grab his dick on the sideline against Kansas. He's that kind of guy. So I get it. I think he's going to be traded. I really do. I don't know to who. The Colts sound like the popular choice. And the Seahawks are another one. I don't really know what the Browns would get from the Seahawks, but
I've seen the reports today are that no matter, and I don't know, I wish I could recall off the top of my head who was reporting it, but that after the Deshaun meeting, it seems like the Cleveland Browns Baker Mayfield marriage is coming to a divorce, no matter what goes down with Deshaun, right? I thought the letter was a high school breakup text.
Yeah.
It was very weird. It's not you, it's me kind of thing, or it's not you, it's our GM kind of thing. And I don't know how that endears you to the next team very much, to know that like you're the kind of loose cannon who might go post from the notes app on Twitter.
I mean, I think he posted that message. He said, I will give my all to wherever I go if I have to go somewhere else. And
For
I
sure.
think I like that part of it.
Drew Lock got traded to Seattle and was like, thank you, Denver. Right? Like you don't have to send a novel for these kind of things. And
but I think the fans also
it's a very emotional response to your team looking for a clear talent upgrade at quarterback. That's what this would have been. And like it's just an emotional move back.
I disagree. That's who Baker is. That's who he's always been throughout his whole high school, college career. That is who you're getting in Baker Mayfield. And I would rather have somebody that shows his emotions and his passion. I mean, he brought a franchise out of not even playing a playoff game in years. He brought that franchise back to life, came in and beat Pittsburgh in the first playoff game and whoever long. I mean, he brought that fan base back to life, that organization. So
it was their first playoff game in 13 years, their first win in 18.
Crazy. Yeah. And he played through a hurt shoulder last year. He literally put it all out on the line. Get him out of Cleveland. I don't really care. He can go to Seattle. He can go to wherever. Yeah. Is his post maybe a little emotional? Sure. Whatever. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, he's going to go make a franchise better, get a better organization, send him to the Colts. He'll win games down there for sure.
I mean, I want him at the Texans. I think he's exactly who we need. I think I want him to come into the Houston Texans locker room, look Jack Easterby, yeah. Easterby, whatever. Look him in the face and say, hey, there's a new daddy in town. Get the hell out of here and change that organization around. That's what I want.
Okay. I support that.
I actually saw something today that like the Texans, if they were to trade Deshaun to Cleveland, would not want Baker back. They'd want picks. Sucks. The problem with Baker is you just have to pay him right now. It's not like Cleveland hates Baker. It's not like the next team's going to hate Baker, but what's the market value for Baker Mayfield? It's not what the market value was for Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't really know what Cleveland's doing. They let go their starting center. Now they're trying to trade for Deshaun Watson after you trade your cornerstone of your offensive line. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. But who knows? That's why those GMs get paid a lot of money and I don't. So I do know this. The state of Oklahoma is the second largest market for the Cleveland Browns on watching NFL games. I am telling you right now, if they trade Baker Mayfield, there's going to be no other people besides Steelers fans who hate the Browns more than people in the state of Oklahoma. I do know that. Not that the Browns probably care about that, but that's just something I know. They will have people rooting against them more than they know.
Hey, we know how to hold grudges. You know?
Oh yeah,
we're not afraid of it.
Yeah. Also on the Baker front, did you see that the USC spring game is the same day as OU's? So Lincoln Riley cannot go to Baker's statue unveiling at the spring game, which I didn't expect him to, but it's just a funny coincidence.
No, but he did himself a favor by scheduling it on the same day. He's the head ball coach there. He schedules it, and the Baker statue was scheduled beforehand. Yeah, he did himself a favor. Doesn't have to answer questions.
All right, real quick, let's talk about Watson. Where's he going in your mind? Mark, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. Mark just covered his face in anguish. Go ahead, Mark.
It's a tough one, man. So I actually think he's going to end up on the Falcons. He was ball boy for the Falcons growing up. He has a personal relationship with Arthur Blank and his family, the owners of the Falcons organization. He went to high school 10 miles away from the current Falcons facility. He's from there. He reached out to the Falcons personally to set up the meeting with Atlanta. The Falcons weren't one of the original teams to reach out. It's a complicated thing because, you want your quarterback to be the most upstanding individual out there. And no matter what you think, Deshaun Watson probably isn't that. And it's sort of a tough thing to see your franchise go balls to the walls trying to get someone like that, knowing they also employ women all throughout that organization. But at the same time, this is the NFL, and they haven't held a high standard where these guys are concerned. That's the right word. They haven't had a high standard where these guys are concerned. And so I really don't know what to expect with something like this. I don't know. Does Goodell suspend him for a full year? Does he not?
That's a big question mark, and it's a fair one. There's still civil suits. There's a lot of question marks still surrounding.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating that everyone just stopped. Like the criminal charges were dropped, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we're good now." Like,
I think that's a lot of people don't understand the justice system. Just because the charges were dropped doesn't mean that he's innocent.
Yeah,
but it just means
NFL teams understand the justice system though.
They didn't have enough evidence to convict him. Like,
right.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like there's still 22 civil suits out there. There still could be blowback on this. It's just something to think about. I think if you're an organization like the Falcons and you're saying, are we willing to take this risk? Because not only do we have to give up something, whether that be picks or Pitts, the tight end or whatever.
Cannot get rid of Pitts. You can't
or whatever
do
it may be. You got to think about the reputation too. Your reputation as an organization.
All right. That's our NFL talk. We'll have more next week because I'm sure more things will happen. Mark, go ahead.
One thing real fast. I do think by this time, so I'm speaking at 6:39 Wednesday night. I think by this time tomorrow or Friday, Deshaun's going to be a Falcon. And if they trade Pitts or AJ Terrell as a part of that package, it's a mistake, I think. You have been awful at drafting forever and ever, and you finally hit on two guys, and to give those guys up for the next thing is a mistake. So I wanted to get that on the record.
That's fair. I had it on the record when the Dolphins and Deshaun Watson were rumored that I thought it was a mistake to go with Deshaun Watson. So luckily the Dolphins are no longer a part of that. I'm very glad about that. There we go. All right. March Madness, guys. It's March Madness time. Big thank you to our listeners and really random people on Twitter joining our bracket challenge on ESPN. If you haven't seen it yet, hurry right now. This episode is going to drop on Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. Be sure to go into our bracket challenge on our Twitter. Join before the games start. One entry per person. If you win our bracket challenge, us five are not included. So whichever listener. No, Matt,
I can't win.
No,
I know basketball.
You can win against us, and we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But whatever listener finishes first, you're going to win a prize package. We don't know what that's going to be yet, but it's a prize package, and that's all you need to know. So you're going to win something cool. Let's go ahead real quickly before we get to our final four. Everybody has filled out a bracket, I assume. Mark has not filled out a bracket.
Mark has not filled out a bracket yet.
Okay, Mark's going to fill it out. Mark's
been
researching. Yeah, he's researching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, while you're on your research, let's talk about this. Give us one upset that you have, and I'll start in the first round. An upset in the first round, and the one that I have on my bracket that I am a big fan of is I have 13 seed Chattanooga over 4 seed Illinois. when I worked in Georgia and I covered the University of Chattanooga, they have a really good basketball program. They're the Southern Conference champions. Chattanooga is very consistent. They're a very consistently good basketball program. I think you see that 13 seed next to your name and you think they're not as good as they should be to be in the tournament. I promise you that they are a talented team and they're going to get after it and they're going to be aggressive. Chattanooga over Illinois. That's who I have.
I'll go next. I have 12 seed Indiana over 5 seed St. Mary's. I think Indiana is a scrappy team. They fought to get into just, the tournament in general. And I think St. Mary's competition, other than the Zags, have been less than stellar. So I'm going to go Indiana.
Let's support that. Patrick?
Yep, I've got 2 big upsets in the first round. The first is UAB over Houston, number 12 UAB over number 5 Houston. And the second large upset I have is number 13 Vermont beating number 4 Arkansas.
You're from Houston, Patrick. What are you talking about?
I
made it to the Final Four last year.
I've got 2 brackets and
2. You said 1.
No, yeah, you get 1.
No. Sorry, I've got
another
group.
Okay.
But look, I don't think I'm not hot on Houston this year, and I think UAB is an upset team in this tournament, so that's why I got them. Yeah,
Matt.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if I want to disclose any more information because I think Mark.
That's true.
Mark is running.
He's taking notes right now.
Mark's
taking notes.
Mark is fine.
I'm researching, guys.
See, this is
continuing the research, fellas.
This
is the research, Mark. We're experts.
Oh, this is what I don't like about Mark. He sits in the background. He's listening to all of our analytics. This is what he does. He planned this out. Look at him. If you can't see on YouTube, he's got a...
Yeah, guys. I'm listening to Matt Gann's
It's Mount Rushmore Gate all over again.
For Mount Rushgate.
Listen, and I assume we're going to talk about Final Four. And
we will. We'll get to the Final
soon.
Four.
So my upset really probably isn't too much of an upset, but I have a lot of faith in this team. Is going to be Virginia Tech over Texas.
I think that's a great pick.
I have that pick.
Virginia Tech with the disrespect when they just won the ACC over Duke. Now I know the record in the beginning of the year doesn't really show what they've done recently, so a little bit of recency bias, but they have been a super hot team. And I just hate Texas. So, I mean, what better? It's a win-win for me if Virginia Tech goes on. Hopefully, routes them Longhorns in the first round.
Mark, you got one for us?
Oh, baby, you know that I do.
Okay.
Give me number 13, the Vermont Catamounts.
Y'all are haters.
I just said that.
It's okay. He can have it too.
I guess.
Patrick.
Look, he took my data and analytics.
There are only so many upsets out there. Oh, yeah? Patrick, what's the line on the game?
It doesn't matter. I know right. Vermont's got a squad.
It's
and I know that whoever they're playing has a slow team.
Whoever they're playing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Vermont has a squad. Name one player.
Name a Catamount.
You guys name a Vermonti.
I don't.
Player.
I didn't say they had a squad.
I'm not claiming they're a squad.
Oh, okay. I am. That's why I don't know one player, because they've got 5 good ones, boys. They're a team.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Okay.
Call ourselves a sports podcast, and Pat's like, I don't know anything.
Hey, the fun facts that I read that at least one number 13 seed has beaten a number 4 26 out of the last 36 tournaments.
Pretty good.
So it does happen pretty often. That's why
Vermont, baby.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much information about my bracket because I know Mark's over there listening, but it's probably bound to happen again. So good pick.
Gonna lay a woo pig dookie.
I have a stat for you guys real quick that was sent to me earlier today, and I think it's very interesting since we're talking about Arkansas. An NCAA men's national basketball champion has never been outside the top 40 in offensive and defensive efficiency. Those teams this year are Gonzaga, UCLA, Baylor, Houston, Tennessee, Auburn, Arizona, and Arkansas.
Interesting.
Exception that proves the rule, perhaps. No. Go Catamounts.
Yeah, I think this year all the teams are so well balanced. I don't think there's like one dominant team. So we could see potentially a lot of upsets, maybe a lot of number 1 seeds that don't make it that far, just based on what you said.
Matt's got to go soon, so let's give our final fours real quick. I'll go ahead and I'll start. You don't have to go into super big detail, but I have 1 seed Arizona, 1 seed Kansas, 1 seed Baylor. I know I'm the worst, and 4 seeded Arkansas.
I've got
that's my final four.
Arkansas. I just said they're going to lose Vermont, I think.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, Kentucky, Arizona, Auburn.
Say it again, Pat.
Gonzaga, Kentucky, Arizona, Auburn.
Great. Matt?
Well, guys, I just talked about it, but my Cinderella team of the year is going to be Virginia Tech. I got Gonzaga playing Virginia Tech in the Final Four as an 11 seed. There's at least a double-digit team, at least one that's made the Sweet 16 every year. I'm riding with the Hokies, baby, and that hot team, and I got Arizona and Auburn playing in the other game as well. And I got Gonzaga, Arizona playing in the finals.
Okay. Ryan?
Zags, Baylor, Kansas, Tennessee.
So
Tennessee.
1, 2.
That's a good.
Tennessee's
Yes.
Rick
Love
Barnes,
that, Ryan.
baby.
There
Rick
you go.
Barnes.
I
Rick
love the
Barnes.
momentum they got coming out
Yeah,
of the
Tennessee's
SEC.
amazing. Everything
Mark?
about them.
Absolute classic Tyson pick going with Baylor. It just has to be said.
I'm trying to not get myself in trouble. for
Ryan
the
has a
next
girlfriend.
2 weeks.
I know. Ryan has a girlfriend. After
Oh,
OU,
yeah.
after OU put the whipping on him in the Big 12 title or tournament, he's got to
He's gotta
make
make
up
it
some
up.
ground.
Yeah,
Guys,
right.
yeah.
That was an awkward night, but
It's all right, Ryan.
we've
I
made
get it.
past it.
I picked Kansas to win the national championship, so like I get it.
I have Kansas in the championship. So
Yeah. All right, Mark.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna start with the Midwest. I've got Auburn coming out.
Okay.
They've got NBA talent on that team, and NBA talent just wins out. That is what we see. When you get to the later rounds, it doesn't always, but it usually takes a well-rounded, older, well-coached squad to take down the kind of talent that Auburn has. Next, we're going to go to the South. Give me Houston, Patrick.
All right.
Edge
To
down.
come out of the South. I think they are a pretty good team, and I watched some of one game in the AAC tournament, so I'm pretty
Mhm.
qualified to say that.
Yeah.
Give me Gonzaga out of the West. I'm going chalk. Chet Holmgren, a lot of talent, well-rounded, well-coached. That's a good team. And in the East, I hate it. I hate it. Sick 'em Bears. I think
Sick 'em
Baylor.
Bears.
I think Baylor
They
comes
lose.
out of the East,
Yeah.
Nah, they lose
And-
North Carolina.
and I think Gonzaga probably pulls the whole thing out. That's what
Okay.
happens.
All right. Once again, that's our final four. Be sure to join our ESPN Bracket Challenge. That's tweeted out on our Twitter page. I'll share it to our Instagram story as well. You got to enter before the game start on Thursday. So be sure you get that in. 1 entry per person. Also tweet us, comment on our YouTube video. Who's your final four? Who's your upset pick? Let us know. At Program Guys with a Z on all that stuff. All right. This is story time. We had an event in
an experience.
we had an experience in the group text this past weekend, and I wasn't involved, but the other 4 were, and I just need you guys to go through it. Whoever wants to start, go ahead.
Ryan, I think that you are best equipped to start this story because I
I'll hand
was
Yeah,
in the bathroom for it.
I'll hand it off to Pat. Okay, so the Dallas program guys, me, Mark, and Matt Gann,
Well,
decided to.
Hey, remember our
Oh,
favorite
we also
listener,
had our favorite listener with us, Ryan
Heil. Shout out.
No.
Shout out.
Honorary
We
program guy.
Scooby-Doo.
love Heil. The 4 of us
Check him out
decided
on
to,
Twitch. Scuba Dooba Doo.
go get some lunch on Sunday. So we went to a Mexican food restaurant in Plano called the Mexican Bar Company. It's a great spot. Had some good drinks, had some good food. It's a great time. This story really starts at the end of our time at Mexican Bar Company. Both Ryan Heil and Mark were in the bathroom, and we were signing checks. And Matt and I looking at each other, just talking, being guys. One of the waitresses comes over and comments on Matt's OU gear. He's wearing OU gear. And she says, well, I'm from Austin. We don't wear that around like where I'm from. And she was like, we need to get you some UT gear. So anyway, they have a conversation. And I look at Matt and I'm like, Gan, you have to get your number to this girl. Like that was definitely flirty behavior. She was obviously interested. And he didn't do it. He said he couldn't find a pen, which was lame. But he didn't do it. So this is where Patrick.
I was here for this part. Let me interject real fast.
Do it.
We are at this table. I have come back to the table and been filled in, right? Like I come back to a conversation about what's going on. Everyone is insistent that Austin girl is interested in Matt, and Matt is just coming up with reasons not to. I will let it go from there. Patrick.
All right,
Patrick,
here we go.
It's all you.
So I'm sitting on the balcony having my Sunday margarita, watching The Bachelor. Everyone knows I love love. So love is in the air for me. And Matt Gann texts the group and says, should have gotten that girl's number. I have no context, but I respond and say, you should have.
Patrick wasn't at the dinner.
Wasn't there. I have no context.
Reminder, Patrick is in California.
Yeah.
Right.
Half a
Drinking
country
a Sunday
away.
margarita, watching The Bachelor. Okay.
Then Gann, couple texts go back and forth. Gann goes, someone want to call a restaurant and leave my number? And I say, sure. What restaurant? After some more back and forth, I find out what the restaurant is. We kind of discuss what I'm going to say. None of that was taken into account by me. So I go ahead and I call the restaurant and I say, hey, my name's Matt. I actually ate here a couple hours ago and I spoke with a waitress from Austin, and I'd love if you could just write down my number for her and give it to her. And the waitress, this is where she throws me for a loop. I was not expecting this. She goes, where were you sitting? And I was like, oh, what do I say?
Tough.
Like, you know, somewhere like in the back-ish. And she goes,
where would I sit?
She goes, were you on the high tops? And I know
God.
my guys are high top guys,
Big
right?
high top.
So I go, absolutely. I was one of the high top guys.
We were high
High
tops.
High top guys.
Anyways,
Right, too.
it was it was Mallory. That was the hostess's name. She was really nice about it. She was laughing the whole time. I told her my number, which is Gann's number, in this situation. And, you know, Matt was appreciative of it, and we kind of let things flow. So what happened after that,
So-
Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, Gann, fill us in.
Yeah, what did happen? Let me take from what I've experienced. So, yeah, when I put it in there, I guess I was like half kidding, like half being serious, and I knew Patrick would pick up on it.
We don't
and
need your opinion,
got
man.
it.
Just
No,
finish the story.
What happened? Finish the story.
Okay, so again, so funny. I don't even know her name at this point. We just call her Austin Girl.
Do you know her
This
name
was-
as of now?
No.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Do not.
Hold on. We
Us-
haven't even been told that they have each other's numbers. Finish
Yeah.
the damn story.
Okay.
Gann.
All right. Yeah.
Couple
The
hours
narrative.
later, Patrick, after he leaves my number, Austin Girl texted me, and her first text to me was, hey, Austin Girl here. Sad to hear, but owning UT merch is a non-negotiable for me.
And
That was
then-
her first text to me.
and that, listeners, is where our love story is born.
Yeah.
That's hot.
And so obviously I was like, okay, let's make a deal. I'll get you some OU merch. You give me a UT merch. We'll call it even. So I've been talking now for the last couple of days.
And you still don't know her name.
Still don't know her name, which I think is creating a very mysterious.
Tension?
I don't know what to call it. It's just it's very different. But at this point, can't ask. So, but I did ask her. I did ask her when she was next available to be able to hang out. She's off tonight. So here in about 10, 15 minutes.
Not
I will
yet,
be
she's
heading
not.
up and
Jesus Christ, Mark.
going to see her tonight. We made some plans. So
All right. Gann's got a
Beautiful.
date tonight.
Beautiful. Patrick loves love. And
I do.
I think the moral of this story is Patrick is a real one for not only like calling the restaurant, but knowing that his guys are high top guys
Yeah.
and just pulling it out of his ass to say that.
Man.
It's a beautiful story. Be sure to tweet us and tweet Matt Gann. Let him know what you think the Austin
And
girl's name is.
We'll have follow-ups. We'll have
Yeah,
follow-ups.
we'll have-
Follow-ups.
We'll have follow-ups. Matt,
When you tweet us,
gonna
make
go.
sure to use the hashtag GannInLove. Thank you.
Also, I want it to be on record. You're gonna marry this girl. I'm already prepared. Like you're gonna, and we're gonna play this podcast.
Timestamp it. Timestamp it.
We're gonna timestamp. Patrick, historian, write it down. All right. It's more Matt Gann time, I guess.
Yeah, too much.
You can never have enough.
Matt, you're about to get out of here pretty soon, so you better circle those wagons, baby.
Got to get them going, right? A lot of news in the last week for some quality OU programs that just keep on chugging along. I mean, let's just get straight into it.
Get in it.
Finally happens. OU softball. Our girl, Jocelyn Allo, back home.
Yep.
In her own state of Hawaii. Finally, a pitcher
the best ever
has the dignity and respect to actually pitch to her. And she ends up breaking the record. And the home run queen still resides in Norman, Oklahoma. Let's just get that straight. So go into the Hawaii Classic, go 4-0 over the weekend. Just give you an update on the 2022 schedule so far. Still number one, 20-0. 16 wins via run rule, 186 total runs, 20 runs allowed.
Amazing.
20 runs allowed. Incredible. 48 home runs, 12 shutouts, currently on a 22-game win streak. I couldn't think of a hotter program that's just absolutely demolishing their opponents so far. Schedule upcoming is actually going to be in Hall of Fame Stadium in Oklahoma City. They got some games coming up against some good opponents here. Also do want to give a shout out. Happy birthday to Mackenzie Air Donohue. It is her birthday today. We'll have to tag her. Hopefully we get a response. Shout out.
We'll tag her.
We'll tag her.
Matt's about to go on a date and he's worried about getting a response from Mackenzie.
Well, let's just say, got to get there. But they got Sam Houston, Indiana, San Diego, and Iowa upcoming, playing in Oklahoma City, which is where they win all the natties. So going on for them. Women's tennis beats Kansas State in 4-1. OU women's gym has the Big 12 championship this weekend starting on Saturday. So big for them. And then we got to give a shout out. We got a first-time national champ. We got Vernon Turner in the indoor high jump, winning individual natty champ. First time in Oklahoma history. He jumped 2.32 meters. Incredible.
That is incredible. As much as OU wins things.
Yeah. First time in OU track in history, we got a natty champ. So I saw the video of him jumping. Yes, indoor high jump. Correct. I saw the jump. I don't even know how people do it. It is unbelievable, the athleticism and the hops that Mr. Turner has. So had to give him a shout out for making OU history. OU's men's baseball swept UTSA last weekend in 3-0. They beat Air Force last night, currently playing them right now. Not sure what the updated score is or if they won their second game out of 3 against them, but got a series. They're about to start Big 12 play here next week as well. Have to talk a little bit about OU men's basketball. Listen, they beat Baylor in the Big 12, right? I mean, that's a good victory for them. Ended up losing to Texas Tech in the semifinals and got an invitation to the NIT. Boys, were we surprised that after beating Baylor, keeping it close to Tech, that we didn't get into the big dance? What do you guys think?
Not surprised because the net rankings, I guess, don't matter. OU had the best net rankings out of all the first 4 out, last 4 in, and they didn't get in. What do we have those for if they don't matter? That's my only thing. But they won their first NIT game. They're hosting again this weekend. Go to Madison Square Garden, win the damn thing, and talk your crap. By the way, Air Force OU baseball beat Air Force 8-7 today. That is Wednesday.
Today.
So yeah,
very nice. So they're to know they got one more game against them. So appreciate that update. Like you said, beat Missouri State last night in the first round. Actually played in Norman. We'll play St. Bonaventure. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bonaventure. In the next game before they could possibly head up to New York. So Moser, I thought held it incredibly well. I think he is taking it. And so hopefully if they win the NIT, only prove all the doubters wrong, that they should definitely be in the big dance. And then let's talk about it. OU wins basketball, made it to the tournament. lost in the Big 12 championship to Baylor, already have beaten them twice during the year. So it's going to be a tall task to beat probably one of the best teams that's going to make a run in the women's side of the bracket in Baylor. I mean, they got some absolute studs and probably got the number one pick on one of their power forwards who's just lights out dominant. But they will play IUBUI. I don't know what the actual acronym for that is. I didn't really want to say it out loud. So, but they did get a number 4 seed. So go OU women's basketball. First year head coach, having a hell of a season with the coach coming in. Their possible next opponents could either be UMass or Notre Dame. And then if they do end up winning that game, they would probably have to play NC State, who's the number 1 seed currently on their side of the bracket. So
bring it on.
Hopefully they can bring it. But that is my update for circling the wagons.
Shout out to Jenny Baranchik. Gan, do you need to go? Do you need to go?
Gan, get out of here.
You need to go.
I got
Gan, go. You got to
Gan,
get
get out of here.
Gan, wait,
go.
Gan,
This
are
is-
you?
You're not
good.
wearing that shirt, are you?
Yeah, that I was literally about to ask
Yeah,
that. You're not
no.
wearing that shirt, are you?
Is that a Logan Paul shirt? No.
Oh my God.
Gosh, no.
Oh,
I'll let you.
Matt.
One thing I want to do before I get out of here, my MVP of the week is just to get on record because I know you guys are, you got some other funny guys
Continue.
down there. The guy right before Tom Brady announced his retirement, the night before, a guy bought Tom Brady's football last touchdown for $518K. That guy is currently living the dream. I'm sure when he woke up the next morning and realized Tom Brady's probably going to throw another 40 touchdowns, which makes his football absolutely worthless. He is my MVP of the week because he probably can throw around $500K and really not give a damn. So to be frank, so that is my MVP of the week. Boys, it's been a pleasure. I will keep you updated. I have to head out to Ryan Tyson's home city.
Yeah.
Are you're changing shirts, right?
Yeah, you got to change.
I'm going shirtless. You're correct.
All right. Jesus.
Matt, again,
fun.
you're my.
Love you
Have
guys.
fun,
All
bud.
right, goodbye, Matt.
All right, bye, Matt.
fun.
Good job, Matt.
You're
Way to
safe.
go.
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Congratulations to Matthew Gann. And more
What
so
a
congrats to
champ.
Patrick. More so congrats to Patrick. All right. Ryan, let's get it, baby.
Let's do it.
Let's get it, brother.
Let's do it. We're gonna
Must
do
watch of the week.
And it's okay that Gan's not here because he doesn't watch any of these anyway. So
No,
you
he
know.
doesn't.
We are gonna talk about a television show this week. It's called The Dropout on Hulu. So this is an 8-episode limited series. 4 episodes are out right now that you can go watch. The rest are dropping weekly, I believe on Thursdays. So the cast in this one is Amanda Seyfried, who you might know probably mostly from Mean Girls. She plays Karen in Mean Girls. She's also in just a lot of movies throughout her career. She's been in small ones, big ones.
Mamma Mia.
Sorry. Mark's favorite movie.
No, but I'm going to be held to the pine if I don't mention it. Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2, couple of movies.
Very true. She is in both of those. How could I ever forget? Naveen Andrews from Lost and William H. Macy, Shameless is probably the thing that people recognize him most, but he's been a lot of stuff. The plot of this show follows really the rise and fall of Elizabeth Holmes. And if you don't know who Elizabeth Holmes is, she is a Stanford dropout, hence the name of the show, who started a blood testing company valued at
Theranos.
At its height. Yeah, Theranos. I think at its height was valued over $9 billion.
Crazy.
And I believe that was in 2015 that really everything started. But this show shows basically when she started developing it and shows kind of like the trajectory of the entire company. And you find out, this is not a spoiler because this is real life. They started, they started to have issues, and the press started to realize that this product that they created is not operating. Like it just doesn't work. It flat out doesn't work. This blood testing, all the claims they've made, they're all false claims. It doesn't work. The technology is bad, all of it. And that's deceiving stakeholders of millions and millions and billions of dollars. and putting millions of people in danger, healthcare patients who are using this product. So it's a trip for sure. And I think it's really cool to see it kind of start from the ground up and see like how this actually worked in real life. And I'm sure, it's a TV show, so it's dramatized, but like there's parts of it, and I'll get into this more when we talk about the good points, but like she completely changes her voice from like, and I don't know if you've seen any of the interviews with her, but she talks like very, very deep, and she did it on purpose so people would like take her seriously, like in this role as like CEO of a tech company. And she like completely changes her voice. Please go go watch an interview with her. It's like this super strange voice that she uses.
I've seen her interviewed before. It's weird.
So you see like a scene in this, you see Seyfried just like in a mirror, and she's like going through different stages of her voice, and she's like lowering it and lowering it and lowering it each time until she's like comfortable with it. And it's really crazy. It's just nuts how an extremely intelligent woman, but also an extremely ambitious woman who is just like basically bending all the rules and breaking them in order to get where she needs to go. Barrier to entry here, I really don't have a good one. I think this is a really good show. My only one that I would say here is there's a lot of shows like this right now that are kind of showing like the rise and fall of like either a person or a company or someone being too ambitious and like taking advantage of the system that's already out there. I'm watching one on Showtime that I might talk about in a few weeks or so. But it's basically the rise and fall of Uber and how Uber came about as Uber Cab, and really all the basically issues that they ran into when it came to regulations and, spying on people and things along those lines. Super fascinating stuff. So I might come back with you on that stuff, but really great show. Good points here. This is a true story, and it is wild. It's just nuts what people are willing to do to other people in order to make more money and, get on top of the world. Essentially, it shows greed, it shows ambition, it shows fame, and all the problems that come with that. I really like how well it's written. It's very quick pace, and I think Seyfried knocks it completely out of the park. So really, really great performance by her, and she's been, doing really, really great work. She was nominated last year for an Academy Award for Mank, and just really kind of at the height of her career. So she's really, really good in this. So
that was Mamma Mia.
Yeah. I have two things: quick paced, well written, as in like Aaron Sorkin, quick paced. Like,
no, I meant more like not the writing necessarily is quick paced. Gotcha. The plot, it goes having to like jump years pretty quickly because it's trying to tell basically I would probably say a 15-year long story in 8 episodes. So you're kind of jumping pretty quickly. So it's like things are always moving. The plot is moving. And that's kind of what I mean by quick pace. Well written. Gotcha. It's just, good dialogue. These people, the way that I always think of a well-written show is like if I'm watching a television show and it feels like these people would actually be saying these things, and it feels like I'm just watching somebody who like would talk to me like normally in a day. That's what I consider probably like a well-written television show, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
So I obviously it's not over yet. We're only halfway through the season, so we all know how it ends. Essentially, you could look it up on Google right now and see how it ends. But really interesting stuff, fascinating stuff, and kind of shows the rise of the tech sector, and kind of what that's doing to America and industries and investors and everything like that.
Pat?
Wait, say that again. You guys both talked.
I said, you hear that, Pat?
Oh, I'm also in tech. So
that guy. I will.
Hear that, Ryan?
I will say this. Ryan made a good point to go see the show. I'm sure it's absolutely fantastic. Before you watch the show, go watch the 60 Minutes piece on this. It's not about the show. It's about the real life stuff that happened. It's 16 minutes of your life. It's not that long. You can find it on YouTube. It's a really great piece. It's very fascinating, and it dives deep into into that whole story. It's fascinating. It's
Yeah.
very good journalism.
Yeah, and I also believe that there's a documentary on HBO
Okay.
about Theranos and about kind of everything that happened with Elizabeth Holmes and that whole thing. So
Great.
I actually, when I started watching it, I had to look her up again. Apparently she got married last year, still going through all these legal proceedings and all that
Weird.
stuff. And you're like, she married like some like billionaire or something. I'm like, why does this happen to people? Like,
I don't know.
Crazy.
She's going to spend a lot of her life in jail probably.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
I know. All right, Patrick, is it time for your hot take or did you already give it?
No, it's time. It's
All right, let's
time.
do
I
it.
didn't give it. I didn't give it yet.
Get the bucket hat on, baby.
Alrighty, baby.
Let's
That's
go.
a good bucket hat.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, man. I love how he tightens it too.
I like
he's
that
gonna
tight.
he's gonna
It's
knock it off.
Moving
with his-
away.
All right, boys. Well, there was an electric Premier League soccer game this weekend against Manchester United and Tottenham. Okay, absolutely electric. Where Ronaldo, at 37 years old,
Yeah.
scored a hat trick against Tottenham to win 3-2. Absolutely wild, beautiful game. There was a guy sitting in the stands. You might know him. His name, Tom Brady.
Amazing. Patrick,
Tom
yes.
Brady is sitting in the stands.
I was wondering where you're going.
Ronaldo scores a hat trick. Tom Brady's like, I can't be a stands guy anymore. Like, I'm not going to sit in the bleachers next season. Tom Brady made the decision during that game when Ronaldo scored the third goal in an electric environment to come back and play football. That's why he did it. He might have done it anyway, but that was the tipping point there. Definitely.
I think you're wrong. I think he probably decided like 2 days after he retired that he can't do it.
Yeah.
But I support the line of thinking
Mhm.
because it is a good line of thinking. When you started off, I didn't know where you're going, but I'm glad we got
Me
to where
either.
we were.
Yeah.
You didn't know either. You
Just
started
kidding.
talking?
Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. Okay. That's a quality. That's a quality. Like I think it's a little fun take.
I mean, it's not a coincidence he unretired the next day, in my opinion.
Okay.
Look, I think
silly Pat take.
I think he went home. He has a 9-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 14-year-old, and was like, I'm not doing this every day. And was like, I need to get back to work.
I think he was going to slowly realize that, but I think him being in Old Trafford in the bleachers was like, shit, I got to be the guy on the field.
Respectfully, you think Giselle is home taking care of those kids? There's no way.
No,
She's-
They
she's
probably have a nanny or
Yeah,
something.
she's
I don't
being
know.
a
But
mogul or something. So he was like
Yeah.
ready to be home, and his hot wife isn't even there. What's the point?
But like, can you
Just sitting there.
imagine like being in this, like who he is and like what position he plays and how long he's been doing it and how good he is at it? Can you imagine doing that and then just going home and being like, well, what now? Like,
Yeah, I know.
What do you do? He's only,
Dude.
well, how old is he? 44? I mean,
Yeah.
he's still got like half his life left. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
It's worse
I
than
mean,
that. Imagine being the absolute best
yeah.
of the best at what you do by such a wide margin that people think you're the best that anyone's been at anything. And you get home and like your son's crying because he made B team. You're Tom Brady.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell no. You're not dealing
Yeah.
with mediocrity from a kid. You don't know how to do that. You've been on the field or in the lab taking supplements, TB12 style, to get right for 20 plus years now. He doesn't know his kids' names. He just kisses them on the mouth and sends them to school.
I'm glad we said the mouth thing. It needed to be said. I'm glad.
It
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah,
said.
it needs to be said
He's a
every time.
weirdo. When he
Yeah.
said, look, this is the real thing. He said he wanted to spend more time with the kids, and CPS was like, I don't know. CPS was like, hey, spend less. Spend less.
Jesus.
Oh my
goodness.
God.
You're
I
coming
think
in with
that's
the-
what it really
you're
was.
coming in with the hot jokes here.
Yeah.
Mark.
Patrick's like, oh, it was a soccer game. Yeah, it was a youth soccer game.
Oh my God.
And his son scored a goal. Good job, Johnny. That's what he.
Tough.
That's what it was. All right, let's move on to our MVP of the week. We'll wrap up with this. We already got Matt Gantz. Matt Gantz gave us the guy who bought the Tom Brady's last touchdown for $518,000. That is probably not his last touchdown. So we'll start with Patrick. Patrick, go ahead. 'Cause
Sure.
I need to know who Ashley Murphy is.
Oh, guys, do you guys not know who Ashley Murphy is?
No, I have no idea.
Ashley Murphy is the Hawaiian pitcher who pitched to Aloe.
Oh,
And I have so much respect for
Good
her
one.
that she is
That's
my
a good
MVP. Just something she tweeted after the game, and I love this tweet, so I'll just read it out loud. She said, "Thank you for giving me the opportunity to challenge myself as a competitor, as a player and a person. For all of you that did not pitch to her, you're missing out. So much respect for Jocelyn and the entire lineup."
Love.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a great pick, Pat.
thank you.
It's a great pick. Ryan?
Mine is our very own Patrick, because
Yeah.
we talked about this, but the Mexican bar company story with Gan and where he is right now, you did all of that. You
You
started
did.
it. You put it in the motion. If he actually ends up marrying this girl, it's because of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You put the other program guys above yourself on Sunday.
Right.
And I just appreciate it, man. I think you're wonderful.
Something I'm just now thinking about, which is kind of shocking that I'm just now thinking about it. What if the girl who answered the phone call, Mallory, I believe her name was, told this girl oh yeah, he sounded super hot. And then Matt shows up.
Right.
Hey,
with his terrible voice.
God.
Mason, that's not fair.
Come on. No one's
It's a
thinking it.
good thing he's not going to listen to this.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I can say whatever. I
Yeah,
want.
he
He's
doesn't
not
listen
gonna
to the podcast.
I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say something like, he sounds tall.
I thought that
But,
too.
like, that would have been fine.
I thought you were going to say something like the hostess is just going to act like the waitress because she wants to go on a date.
Now, I can't confirm that the number that texted Gan was an Austin number. That's an Austin area code.
Okay.
So
Ryan knows Austin, guys.
He does.
my brother lives there, so
He knows Austin and Waco. This guy. He's a big Waco guy. All right, Mark, who you got?
Look, along the same lines, I've got Matt Gann for going on the date tonight.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. All of us do it. We get in our own way sometimes, right? None of us are perfect. And Matt has a tendency here and there to get in his own way. And this time he didn't. Or he did, but then he let Patrick fix it. And since then, he has been playing a wonderful game. This whole no name thing is hot. It's gonna you got to keep that going, man. That's it. Matt's gonna crush this for as long as she's Austin girl. And once her name is Claire or something, it's not gonna be as great. You know, it's just how this is gonna work. But for now, I'm going Matt Gann. I think he's doing great, MVP style. He is having ramen right now, and he'll have dessert later.
Respectfully.
third joke.
Respectfully. It's amazing. All right, I'll end us with my MVP, Emmanuel Ogbah. The Miami Dolphins re-signed Emmanuel Ogbah as their defensive end. Oklahoma State alum. I don't know if he is an alum. I don't know if he graduated or not. It's weird when you don't know if guys left early or not.
Kind of like Mickey Mantle. You just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Patrick.
Yeah, exactly like Pat. Exactly like that, Pat. Exactly the same thing.
Classic Mantle situation on our hands.
Classic.
Classic McMahon. You know what I mean? You never know. All right, Emmanuel Ogbah, 4-year deal, $65 million, $32 million guaranteed. That's huge for the Miami Dolphins and their pass rush. Ogbah was massive in their defense, performing as well as they did last year. The Dolphins needed to re-sign him if they wanted to be a contender in the AFC East or even a contender for a wild card spot. They did so. Shout out to the Dolphins. They knew what they needed to do. And head coach Mike McDaniel, I hope, had a lot to say about that. That's all I got. Anybody else? Anything to add before we get out of here?
Secure that. Bogba.
Nice. That's Bogba. Bogba. It's like a bag.
He secured it.
I thought Mark's face was he was halfway through it and he was like, where am I going with this? That's what I thought I was seeing.
It was just I thought it would work more smoothly, and then it started coming out of my mouth, and it did.
Yeah.
So
it worked.
Crushed it.
It worked. Once again, thank you for listening to the Program Guys podcast. One more reminder, join our ESPN Bracket Challenge. You can find it on our Twitter. I'll put it on our Instagram story as well. Be sure to click that link. Join us. 1 entry per person. You get a prize if you are first place. By the way, our punishment was decided for the 5 of us, and it will be Ryan's film review. Write a 1,000-word paper on that. So the people voted, and that's what we're going to do. So that sucks a lot. I can't believe I didn't mention that earlier, but that's it. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel it's just the Program Guys. You can find us on Twitter at Program Guys, on Instagram at Program Guys, all those with a Z. Be sure to comment, like, all that stuff on all of our social media channels. Interact with us. We love hearing from you guys. And be sure to give us your upset picks for March Madness and give us your Final Four picks as well. Remember, games start on Thursday. Going to be a fun weekend of sports. That's going to do it for us. Pat, take us out.
Keep pushing it, baby.